Alright, hello, greetings and welcome in everyone. Hello. My name is Harrier Citadel, avian alien sentinel of Fort Misthaven, perpetrator of creative chaos and general maker of things. Happy Monday and happy day 31 of Donothon. Woohoo, we have survived, we made it. How goes? I hope everyone is doing alright. For everyone who is lurking, I hope you have a good look. For everyone in the VOD squad, thanks for sticking around, I appreciate it. And if you are here to join in productivity tonight, then I appreciate that as well. Yes. Hello. Yeah, I got the cape jacket and the glasses on today. Cozy. Small disclaimer for today. I am wholly and significantly, severely underslept this day. So if I'm a little bit low energy, or if you suddenly hear snoring, then you know that, oh, Harrier fell asleep at her desk. In which case, I apologize. I'm going to try not to, but we'll see how far we get. If there is a chance that we don't 100% finish today, what the plan is, then what we're going to do is we're going to roll this over to tomorrow. Because I am like 98% done with the illustration of figurine for Eldritch Horror of Bread. So there's just like a teeny tiny little polish things that still need to happen on that. And if I don't manage to finish what is on the cards for tonight, then I will polish that up tomorrow in stream as well. So yes, that is going to be what is on the game plan. As for why I am in a little bit of a less optimal state at the moment, yeah, I've been struggling with my internal thermostat a little bit lately, so my temperature control while sleeping has been terrible, for a starting point. So it's constantly oscillating between overheating and freezing. And it's been making things tricksy. And also generally just getting to sleep in the first place. Like, you lie down and then you spend 2 hours being blatantly aware that you're just lying down with your eyes closed and not actually falling asleep. It's very frustrating, but hey, you do what you can. And that 12 hours after the last cup of coffee, which is not exactly inspiring. But anyway, or between 6 and 12 hours after the last cup of coffee anyway. Yeah, I think literally only just now did I finish my second cup of coffee for this day. Yeah. Anyway, that's besides the point. So yeah, I have I've had a little bit of a time actually going down. And also just preparations for the meeting that I had literally just before stream. Were a bit hectic, but I needed to go through. Just FYI, the meeting that I had absolutely nothing to do with VTubing, so if anyone has any suspicions about that, no. It was otherwise IRL related madness, so yeah, the chaos continues beyond the realm that you guys can see. Misthaven is a busy place. Misthaven is a very, very, very busy place. But yeah, we do what we can. I have been trying to be a little bit active on social media today. to make up for the fact that I completely could not keep up yesterday. But hey, it's fine, it's fine, it's fine. Yes, so what is actually on the cards for today is that we have 2 chibi reactives in the queue. We have 2 chibi reactives in the queue that need to be developed. So your character here, stuff that we're going to be customizing and pulling into Live 2D. I think what I'm going to try and do is I'm going to try and do all of the customizations as a first priority, and then once I've got that done, if I've still got juice, I'll pull it into Live 2D today, but if I don't have juice at the end of the customizations, then I'm going to save it for tomorrow. But before end of day tomorrow, these things will be done. That is for certain. Just need to check something over here yet. Okay. All good, all good, all good. All good, okay. Right. So, let us dive right into the main thing. Let us dive right into the main thing. Let me just see. I should be here. Working on. Yes, okay. So, this is the first character we're going to be working with. But what we're going to be doing is we're actually going to be doing the artwork inverted. So what we're going to do is we're going to do the artwork inverted on our character base. And what we're going to be doing is when we do the position for the animation, we are literally just going to flip it over. And hopefully that doesn't break everything. I think, if I'm not 100% mistaken, if I do a negative y, if I do a negative x value on the positioning or on the scaling, a -1 value on the scaling, hopefully it will let me do that like it does in bed. I should actually probably check that. I should probably check that. Hold up. Let me check just that. Open up Knife 4D. I need to check that that is going to work before I commit to actually putting pen to paper, as the saying goes. Let's see if this works. Okay. Now, if I'm not mistaken, placement and transparency, scale X. If I do this, unlink, and check. Yes, everything still behaves properly. Unlink, scale X, negative. In which case, okay, it's gonna work. It's gonna work. Yay! Cool. That is good to know. That is good to know. Let me just minimize this because I don't know if I'm still going to get into that again today. Right, so we are working with this mirrored, which means come over here and flip this canvas over so that I don't think. Just draw. All that can collapse. And I want this one. It's supposed to be on 15, I believe. Either 15 or 30, I can't remember. I think it's 15, yeah. It's 15. Okay. So here what we've got is a very straight, soft brow with a distinctly sharp inner corner. Alright, there we go. Unclip that, clear that. Color that is going to be. Maybe the face color is going to be somewhere around there. Something like that. Okay. And merge that. Now I just want to doubly check. Ooh, yes, this one's gonna have hair physics. This one's gonna have hair physics. Okay, noted, noted, noted. So I need to make sure that I separate it for that accordingly. Alright. So with that being the case, what we need to do is we need to create a folder for, let's do front braid. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Let me put all these group little temporary space there for a moment. Something like that. Nope. Eek. Tablet walked, sorry. Okay. Alright, next. Hold on. We've got back strand that comes back. This one. When I thought the physics of this isn't making sense, this is looking like let's just do our basic planning again. We've got 1, 2, which means over here. And this one. If we then correct this accordingly, that then translates to I'm feeling very, very, very slow today, but okay. That then is not representative. But that's a hydrate. So everyone acquire your nearest safer consumption beverage and let's take a sip. There we go. Because that puts this arc on this one, which means now let's just walk till this makes sense so that I can use it as a guide. Let's just no. Okay. Happy with that. Okay. There we go. That's the scaling overall. Let's just tidy up the lines a little bit more. Okay. Let's just clear that. There we go. That. Select outside. Expand by 1 pixel. Invert selection and fill. There we go. Now we lock that. I'm do some drag. Dark shade like this. There we go. And grab that color as well. Here we go. Right. That will do the trick. So that is the first part sorted. Hide you. Then the next thing that we're going to need is going to be let me think. Let me do the ears next. Right. I think. Next section is gonna be let's do the hair back. One, two. If I'm interpreting this hairstyle properly, there is something like this going on. Okay. If I'm interpreting this correctly. You know what, I'm gonna pull this thing back too. Select outside, expand by 1 pixel, invert, and pull. There we go. Okay. Okay. Give it 1, clear it. Now what's going to happen in this one? For a start. There's something along that sort of a shape. Something like that. Okay. It works for that. Hide. Grab outside. Expand by 1. Invert. Oh. There we go. It's fine. We fight on. We forge ahead. I just might be being open. Okay. So as far as the hair back goes, we're mostly there. Next, let's do ears of all descriptions. Which goes on top. Moonshiro, hello. What's going on here? I can't read. You feeling better? How's your hand and how did the research go? Research went pretty well. The conclusion was that certain things for the meeting that were the subject of research ended up being irrelevant, basically. So a null answer is an answer too, so you know what, all is well. Hand is still a bit iffy, but it's surviving. This person is very pretty. Yes, indeed. Amunefret is the character name for today. We're doing a little bit of your character here for a reactive again. Yeah, I'm currently operating on park lights because I think I am operating on what I can reliably say is no more than 4 hours of sleep. At the moment. At the maximum. And probably about 2 hours on the minimum. I really have no exact idea because this last 24 hours has been bleh. So like a Fuji PNG for game screens? Yeah, basically. This is the low resource version. You need to eat too. I know. I very unexpectedly needed to get up 2.5 hours earlier than usual for morning session because chaos happened in other issues of the house this day, and I needed to be alert and aware after I'd only just fallen asleep. But survived that. Only for the afternoon shift to come around where I could go down again and then be consciously aware of how I was lying in bed with my eyes closed and not sleeping. So it was hard. So chances are today's stream is going to be short, and I'm going to work on this a lot more tomorrow because I am definitely running on park lights at the moment. Wishing you well. Thank you. I appreciate it. Let me think, how am I gonna handle this? How am I gonna handle it? Do you have a place you know who you want to get in the art? Can you please rephrase that because I'm not entirely sure I'm understanding your question. Like a place to stop drawing for the stream and mark progress marker there. Okay. I would at the very, very, very least like to get hair layers done at the absolute minimum on this. There's supposed to be a second one that I need to work on as well because I've got 2 of these in the queue, but I really don't know if I've got the bandwidth for it right this very moment. Because of course, naturally the unexpected nature of today really took it out of me a little bit. More than I would have liked. So yeah, I'd at the very least like to get the hair layers on this one done. There's not a lot else aside from hair on this particular one, actually, now that I look at it. But, yeah, that's a hydrate. Everyone, let's acquire our nearest safe for consumption beverage, and let's take a sip. Water break. Yes. Yes. And I think the main consideration for today, I think, is that I don't want to go out of today's stream at the point where I am completely flat. I still want to have a little bit of something in the tank. But at the same time, I didn't want to overstretch myself. After cancelling out yesterday, I had to do something today. I couldn't not. My conscience would not allow it. Oh, I've got to let a chaos cat out the room. Come on. Okay. I am. So yeah, I'm trying my best to, you know, be here and present, despite other circumstances. And you know what? I've actually made a mistake. I need these to be separate cloths. Here. Unlace. No, I should be fine. The pom-pom shaped earplug looks very intentional, so I don't want to mess with that. Okay, that works. Right place. Select outside. Expand by 1 pixel, invert, and fill. Okay. Okay. Save. Let's just go. I'm gonna split this into ear back and ear front. Because we need to have a top and 2. Okay. Something like that. Okay, we'll do the trick. And going over here. Something like that. You can do it. Thank you. 3-5. We are in battle mode at the moment. This is where that annoying persistence comes in, of the namesake. Okay, now we grab outside, expand by 1, invert, and oh. Okay. Now we show rows. So that 1. Okay, I can actually close that. And invert. Oh. Something in your mic changed. Is your volume low? It looks like it decided that it wanted to swivel again out of nowhere. I might have accidentally bumped it without realizing. I still wanted to adjust my microphone. Ugh, I've got me too. No. So much stuff that I'm just not getting to. Okay, so now what I've got to do is make sure that this slot agrees with the hairline because, oh dear. Funny. I spend my head down. I think I'm probably referencing the wrong song, but anyway. Okay, so that would be accurate if we were doing a front-on reference, but I've actually got the corner of the hairline in the wrong place. So, clear and redo. Why? Because that point needs to live over there. Yay, I made Harrier laugh. Yes, you did indeed. Thank you. Laughter is good medicine. Thank you. I appreciate it. Big times. I brought a little joy. You did. Absolutely. I appreciate it, Moonshiro. Thank you. The way he has the back of the hair and the only one visible with the eyebrows makes it seem like cousin from the Addams Family. Oh man, I completely forgot about that character's existence. It's the I only have like the most passing familiarity with the existence of the Addams Family. Let's just say it was not my media growing up. But I am vaguely aware that there is an animate bundle of hair. vaguely aware of it. Really? Yeah, it was not a part of my media. I watch mostly the animated shows. Yeah, no. I can't really comment on Addams Family. It's just not in my frame of reference, really. Like, at all. It was odd, but a lot of the shows on Cartoon Network was odd back then. Like, some were really odd. Yeah, Cartoon Network in general was not my media. I grew up on, like, Air Crash Investigations, Seconds from Disaster, Built for the Kill, Walking with Dinosaurs, Extreme Engineering, Crocodile Hunter. That was my media growing up. It was more sciencey stuff before everything became reality TV. I miss the days when documentaries were not trying to be reality TV. Such. Or when science channels were generally not trying to be reality TV. So National Geographic? Yep. So many National Geographic specials. And a very brief stint on the History Channel before it also became reality TV. There are a couple of interesting World War II pieces on there back then. I was walking with the one with dinosaurs, the one where the evolution of the world, but there's one human that's kind of like supposedly goes back in time to different eras, or is that a different show? Yeah, that sounds like a different show. Walking with Dinosaurs was a BBC production from the 90s. that I got a DVD of, which I watched like every single week. I was obsessed. And it was a 6-episode series where it was basically a wildlife documentary featuring dinosaurs, but like produced like you were observing the wildlife on the plains of Africa, basically. It was that sort of a documentary feeling. And the CG that they used and the combination between CG and puppetry and practical effects in the production was really, really interesting. I think that's what got me interested in how stuff gets made. That the behind the scenes disc 2 of that series was definitely super interesting to me. It was really, really good for if you think about when it happened. And it was like the golden era of integrating CG into and practical effects together a little bit. Like you could still see a little bit of clipping if you look for it hard, but it was just really, really immersive, and it still holds up pretty well. Like the animation from Walking with Dinosaurs still holds up pretty well. You'd like surprisingly well. Also, the soundtrack lives rent-free in my head. The music was really good. Okay, that's looking a bit better. So, next part of the bangs will come in soon. Let's just hit the save button at this point. I think that will be a good idea. Okay, let's go side here. And this is gonna be this piece. I've heard it from a lot of people that the Walking with Dinosaurs soundtrack is really something that stuck with them. Yep. I think... yeah, it's not something that's, I think, available on, like, streaming platforms, but I think there is an archive of the music somewhere on YouTube worth checking out, for sure. I think there is an archive of the music. I think there's still good World War II stuff on the History Channel, just because you need to know what to watch out for. Yeah. Because when you say reactive DVD, do you mean the way of filming or the reacting of things? Like, The reenactments, I'm okay with. But it's like when you've got this... How can I phrase this? Very shouty sort of programming style where you've got guys going through people's abandoned garages for antiques. Like that. And it being really kind of actually irrelevant. That's not a History Channel, that's like lifestyle stuff. That's more lifestyle than history. Why is that on the History Channel? Or old car restoration. Like I can understand, like, yeah, sure, old cars, cool. But the restoration is not the history of the vehicles. If you were going through, okay, we're following the production pipeline of how this vehicle was designed, the challenges that went into its construction back in the 70s, bloody fish paste, all that jazz, then sure, that could be a History Channel thing. But the restoration in that overly dramatized manner, that ain't History Channel stuff. That's lifestyle. That's lifestyle. That's reality TV. I don't think I've watched Walking with Dinosaurs completely since I was a very young kid, and also back then I didn't speak English and I didn't know if it was dubbed in my language, honestly. But it's so cool. I'm still trying to find that show then, if it was not Walking with Dinosaurs. The only thing I remember was really cool and I liked the entire show. I think I managed to catch. Mostly the first episode, which was the most boring for child me on television, and hardly any of the other episodes I really liked. And I remember there was this guy walking with an oxygen mask because the air was very thin and it was mostly just ancient forms of life. Started traveling to the land, but isopods and stuff like that. Ooh. I actually, I'll make a note of that because that actually sounds like an interesting one. Maybe if we find it, we'll maybe do a watch along. Let me take a note of that. Let me take a note of that. We might do a watch along if I can find that docu. Let me just see. Yes, I can put it on this page. Documentary find. Person goes back in time and interacts with the prehistoric world. Watch along when found. I will go and hunt for that. I will go hunt for that. But that's a hydrate, so everyone acquire your nearest saver consumption beverages. And let's take a sip. Yeah, now that actually sounds like an interesting one. There was another one that I have a vague recollection of that was kind of cool. But didn't... I think it was also more of a mini-series type thing with sort of a speculative science fiction vibe. Like it was filmed like a documentary, but it was actually pretty much speculative fiction, where it was following a couple of probe robots on an alien planet. That was a cool one. I want to find that one again as well. The animation in that one was really good too. Interesting creature design. Like, if not for the documentary aspect of it, and the creature design and world building aspects of it were interesting, like from a science fiction writer's perspective. So also definitely worth finding and also maybe doing watch-alongs. I can't believe we're talking about doing documentary watch-alongs, but hey, it's interesting stuff either way, right? Like, you can just... If you could find it, it would be really amazing. Yeah, I'll go hunting. I'll go hunting. Having the right search queries helps. And we'll see. Maybe we get lucky. If nothing else, who knows? Maybe we can ask the question on Reddit or something. I'm not a Redditor, so I don't really know how it works. I just know that people ask questions on Reddit, and somehow some knowledgeable person finds the thing, and it gets answered. Usually. Hopefully. I don't like that. What I want to do... Basically, every episode you go a little bit more forward in time. You see the changes the planets and the living beings are going through, so almost 2 little eras. I think it was 8 episodes. Okay. Noted. Yeah. Well, we'll do some digging. We'll find it. We'll find it. Okay, then this is gonna be times 1 and duplicate times 2. Okay, this one. Okay. Grab outside. Expand by 1. Invert and fill. Lapse and down. There we go. There's a lot of stuff I don't like about Reddit, but I do like when it's actually helpful and acts like the forum it's supposed to be. Yep, that is definitely a thing. The way that discussions can kind of derail is kind of wild, but if you can actually get someone to give a helpful response to a question, it's really cool. Joshua, hello, hello, welcome in. How goes? Hello there, ma'am. Hello. Hello. Like, I know I've got a Reddit account, but I've never actually properly bothered to use it. I think I needed it just to read an extended set of replies to a thing once, and that was about where it ended. Okay. We're almost there. To the point where I can say that goal for the day, victory achieved, because I do not have a full tank this day. Doing the best that we can, but definitely not firing on all cylinders. Definitely not firing on all cylinders this day. She has such a pretty brown color hair. She does. It's a very lovely, rich color. Let's see, have I got artifacts? I think I might. Yeah. The design is very pretty. It is. Now I understand the sectioning you did with the hair. I thought the part you're doing now was the part you were doing behind it. So the big swoop part. I didn't understand why you didn't. Yeah. The reason behind that is because of this hairband. The folded part is hiding the headpiece. Yeah. So the headpiece is going to go between these two. And I just needed to separate that accordingly. Okay. Let's grab outside, expand by 1 pixel. Invert selection, I've got the correct layer, correct color, fill, deselect. Okay. Now, for practical purposes, hair is mostly assembled. Hair is mostly assembled, I think. So now it just needs shading. And she still needs human ears on this side. Still needs human ears on this side. Okay. Let's throw that in here. It's honestly so cool that you managed to separate all the layers like that. I know it's probably something that has to do with the practice of thinking of the art the way, but it's still so cool. It's got to do with looking at the flow of the reference and basically trying to think, okay, everything that I'm working with is basically a strand, or if you are thinking in groups, you can think of it like either sheets or ribbons or ropes. One of those. And you kind of need to say, okay, this is the way that it looks like it's flowing. So in order to get these bends, how would I need to get those shapes broken down? So yes, it is something that takes a little bit of practice to figure it out, and sometimes it takes some actual manual work, like with the braid as well, because earlier on I just could not for the life of me get the braid to look like a braid. Because I had the points in the wrong places. In which case actually constructing the thing out did help. Now that I look at it, it can come out a little bit more. There we go. But yeah, it's a matter of trying to isolate the bits that go together and figure out, okay, how do these things look like they wrap around each other a little bit? What I'm not 100% sure of though is, should this not be like that? Maybe it should. Maybe it should. Let's just scale that up. Rotate that ever so slightly. Pull that in. that looks a bit better, actually. That actually looks significantly better. Yeah, that works. Now what I need to do is I need to just draw the sun out. Clear that. And just re-ink this one because it's now got ink too thick and slightly fuzzy lines. The fluff circles look really fluffy and fluffy. They do, they do. They are very intentionally round and poofy. They are so very intentionally round and poofy. Save remind. Thank you. Thank you, thank you. Greatly appreciated. Pretty sure I forgot to do that at the last hydrate. Whoopsie. There we go. Okay, getting there, getting there. Like that. Okay, let us refill this. Expand by 1 pixel, invert and fill. There we go. Layer order is correct. Okay, great, 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 great. Woohoo! There we go. There we go. Whew. Save button. Save button. Let's see. Let's see. Still needs human ears, still needs all of the outfit pieces. Still needs all of the jewelry. And here needs shading. Let us... I think we'll leave it here for today because I honestly do not have any more juice in the tank right now. And it has been a 2-hour stream, so I feel like we haven't been in a bad way. But I need to actually crash out because today has taken me by the scruff of the neck and given me a good shake. And I can feel myself dipping below my comfy foot streaming threshold. I know I promised that I would stream today, and I did a little bit. And we did make progress on commissions a little bit, but I'm definitely going to need to progress this a little bit further on the morrow. So that is going to be the plan. Let us head over to the chat screen quickly because I just want to make sure. This is going to be the schedule. Let's just have a look for the week. Yes, we were working on the Fujis today. Tomorrow was supposed to be illustration things, which means that we are going to be continuing with the Fujis. And also, Fugis. I don't actually know which pronunciation is the correct one. And also doing the final polish on figuring. We're going to be doing those 2 things tomorrow. Wednesday's invisible productivity. So whether it is VTuber art layers or writing things or Misthaven things, who knows? Who knows? At the moment, I don't even know 100%. Or if I might actually be working on Zany's stuff a little bit at that time. I might be working on Zany's stuff a little bit at that time. Just messing around with things that are going to be on the armor design that I don't necessarily have the good confidence to say, okay, we're going to do this all brainstorming live. We'll see. Because we've got now the functional structure, but coming up with aesthetically pleasing iterations is the next step. And I think I might need to iterate each of the iterations a couple of times, and I don't necessarily want to do that live because I feel very embarrassed about that. I shouldn't, but considering it is actually part of the creative process, but I don't want to necessarily have the things that I am I don't want to say feeling insecure about, but like there are times when certain projects you just want to not have the pressure of having them being 100% seen until like a certain stage in the process. Like at the moment it's in ugly phase, and until I have ideas of how I want to actually iterate out of ugly phase, we'll bring Zany back into visible productivity again once we have iterations that actually look like something that can be worked from, I think. So that's going to be the plan there. And then on Thursday we're finally starting the cheeky rig. Finally starting the cheeky rig. Wow. It's been a long time coming, but we're finally getting there. Looking forward to that. So, woohoo! And then Sunday is either going to be Invisible Productivity or Final Fantasy XIV. One of the two. If it happens at all. At the moment, I really hope that it happens, but I know that I am in for a little bit of a wild week. So, I am going to hold judgment on that one at the moment. Planning for it, but yeah, I think today I need to put in a good rest. Prepare, hopefully not suffer more insomnia, because that was not fun. And yeah, we shall resume work on these tomorrow after sleep has happened. But yeah, I think of everything that's in the queue on these, on the Fugis, the big hair was always going to be the big time-consuming part of things that takes thinking, processing stuffs. So, hoo-wee! Yeah, definitely bedtime. Imitated burb. I think, we have... I need to see if I can find a bit of figure of speech than broke on the back of. Yeah, I need to find a better figure of speech, but yeah, we have conquered the major portion of this. So, one last hydrate before bed. Thank you guys so much for joining me. I really appreciate it. Sorry that today was a little bit of a shorter stream, but as I mentioned throughout, I have been running on exhaust fumes at the moment. But put in a good rest now, and we won't have chaos tomorrow, hopefully. So I shall see you when I see you. Rest well when you get to it. Good night. See you tomorrow, everyone. Ciao, ciao.